Hey everybody, this is Alex from LiveRealEstateInvestor.com, and I wanted to do a quick video on deal analysis and making sure that you're spending your time with the right type of leads. Because in this business, it all comes down to where am I spending my time, where am I investing my energies, because the goal here is to get as many leads as possible. And we want to learn to go through those leads as fast as possible. Because if you were ever on one of the webinars I did recently, there's a section I talked about how a lot of people get caught up on lead analyzation, and it could take up to 35 to 45 minutes to break down each lead. And in this situation, if you get 100 leads, 200, 300 leads a month, that's something that you can't really mess with because it's going to slow you down a ton. In my case, I have a virtual assistant that handles a lot of it for me, but I also do look at every single lead that comes in just to make sure nothing is getting by. But in the situation where I'll tell you this, I just got a lead today actually on Sunday from one of my websites that I have, and it's actually through FreedomSoft, and I use pay-per-click, which is Google advertising, to drive traffic to the site, and then the people give me the information, and the lead comes in, and I looked at it. So I just got back from church actually, and I just saw that it came into the system, and I looked at it, and she didn't leave all her information. And just to give you an example, you will get leads a lot of times where people won't leave all their information, and you'll be in a position where you're like, do I call this person back? Do I not? Well, what I did was I went ahead and looked up the info on realquest.com, and that's an actual software that I use to kind of narrow down, is this going to be a good deal or not? And what I found by briefly taking a look at it and without having to dig a whole bunch into it, I noticed that she bought the property for $191,000, or the family bought the property for $191,000 in 07. The tax assessment is actually $163,900. So in this case, this property is over leveraged. Even the fact that she left, she didn't leave her information, or as far as what she wanted for the house, she didn't leave what was owed on the house. That tells me right away that this is either a short sale situation, and if I was in the short sale business, then yeah, obviously I could tackle it. But in this case, I would outsource it to my short sale expert that I work with, and he could take a look at it. But I don't even need to call the lady and find out whether this is going to be a deal or not, because she doesn't have the room to accept my offer. And another thing here is, a lot of people wonder, should I not make an offer on this house? Should I even entertain the idea? And the rule of thumb is, if you would buy the house for what they owe, make an offer. So if somebody owes $70,000 on a house and it's worth $140,000, then make an offer. If you got to buy it for $70,000, then that's what you got to buy it for. Offer it. The worst they can do is tell you no. And in my situation, it doesn't matter because I have my virtual assistant make the offer. And in that case, they can go tell my virtual assistant off. It's no big deal. No skin off my nose. The more offers I make, the better chance I'm going to get closer to making a deal happen. So if they can buy, if you can buy it for what they owe on it, make an offer. Another situation was, I'm looking at a deal this past week where the house is assessed close to $400,000, and they wouldn't even give me an asking price. No matter what other real estate magic you can do to try to get that asking price from them, sometimes they just don't budge. And they didn't give me an asking price. So I just made an offer, and I offered somewhere in the low 200s, okay? And I think they're going to take the offer. I was tempted not to make the offer, but I did. And because I did, and I adhered to my own rule that make an offer if you can buy it for what they owe and you're happy at doing that, and they've got room to accept your offer, make it. because the worst they can do is say no. So now I'm in a situation where I can make $15,000, $20,000 on this wholesale flip because I've got buyers that are lined up ready to go. I know the area, and it's looking like it may happen. So I'll keep you posted on that. But bottom line is, before you make an offer, do a little research on it. If you have realquest.com, make sure you check that out so you can see what they bought the property for. In a lot of situations, just in the public records, you can check to see what they bought the property for. And if you have that information, then you can see, well, do I have to try to follow up this person, play phone tag, and decide whether you're going to make that offer or not. And the other rule of thumb is, if you're going to make an offer on a property, make sure that you can buy, if you can buy the property for what they owe on it and you feel good about that, or you can wholesale it, or you're going to close on it, or whatever you're going to do, make the offer, because the worst thing that they can do is say no. Okay, so that's hopefully a helpful little tip to you. Remember, this is Alex Youngblood from LiveRealEstateInvestor.com, and I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl today.